Welcome to Bel Air. We're at the Tower in downtown Bel Air, a great event, and a lot of the focus of this event is on the Bae Ruth Museum. And if you've watched our videos before, you know that Turf Talk, Viener X Consulting has a long relationship, mostly through Keith Cavanaugh, with guys like Shawn Herne. And I was talking about lacrosse and maybe bringing an author in. And the other day I was talking to the great author S.L. Price, Scott Price, who wrote this fantastic book about the American game, which is lacrosse. And then I found out some things I didn't know about you. So you're part of the Iroquois nation.
That's right, the Haudenosaunee, the people of the Longhouse. The French called us the Iroquois, the British called us Six Nations. We call ourselves the Haudenosaunee. And that's where lacrosse starts. It's our game. We called it the Creator's Game. And my reservation back Akwesasne in northern New York and southern Quebec was responsible for making a lot of the original wooden lacrosse sticks.
I take it you played a bit?
I was not good enough. I had two left feet, basically. And what's interesting about lacrosse on a reservation is that it's a very serious game. It's a very serious game. It's more than a sport. It's part of how you honor the creator, how you honor your community. So really only the best got to play.
And you, I take it your family gave you your own stick at some point?
Yes, so when I was really young, the Mohawk Lacrosse Factory was shutting down after many years. And so my great aunt, I believe, went and acquired two wooden sticks, one for my brother, one for me. Still have them. They're some of the last sticks made by the lacrosse factory in the old way, and it's amazing to see how those were made.
Hit the pause button there.
Yeah.
You've done this before.
Yes.
We get dragged all over the place. Well, it's great to talk more lacrosse because I thought I was coming to a Bae Ruth Museum event, and we're on the way to the Final Four in Boston, and hopefully the Terps can pull this one off. I really think they're the best team there. But back to what you were saying. So how does in your family life, how does the creator represent it in this great sport?
So the sport was, lacrosse had many different roles, and one was to help train the warriors. It was their way of training the young men to be warriors, because the games would go on and on and on, days, weeks, depending, and the field had no limits. But it was also designed to honor the elders of the tribe, and it was also a way of honoring the creator, and that you were showing respect and that you played your hardest because you wanted the creator to look favorably down on you. So it was a very interesting aspect of our community, still is. And for years we talked about the warriors fought with bows and arrows. Then it became the lacrosse stick, and I think it still is today. The lacrosse players are held in the highest regards.
So politically, if we can turn that way, what's it like having your own nation that part of it's in the United States and part of it's in Canada?
So it's a very interesting thing, because the Mohawks, my particular tribe, the Mohawks, had sided with the British during the American Revolution and the War of 1812. And so when the British retreated, they took the Mohawks with them, and that's why we were on the Canadian border. And both countries look at things very differently politically, but in things like lacrosse and things in some of our traditional ceremonies, we've been able to maintain those things and the values of the community. And honoring your elders is a strong part of that. And I think that's one of those underlying things that I love about lacrosse, is that lacrosse pays so much respect to the people who came before them. Lacrosse players look favorably, highly respectfully on the previous players, and I think that is one of the carryovers that I love so much about the game. I also love that Maryland is such a powerhouse, in this sport, and that keeping that sport alive and keeping the tradition alive, but also keeping the history and being able to have these kinds of conversations about the Indian roots of lacrosse, I think is so important. And Maryland, always makes us proud, whether it's Hopkins or Loyola or the Naval Academy or the University of Maryland. Somebody's always representing this state in lacrosse.
Well, throw Towson and UMBC
and
in there.
Towson and UMBC as well, yeah.
Yeah,
it's amazing. If you want to play lacrosse, you got to come to this state for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Shawn, thanks for explaining that.
My pleasure.
And it gives a little different twist to the Bae Ruth Museum.
Well, you know what? We're all about preserving and celebrating Maryland sports, and this is one that goes back a long way. Like horse racing in our state goes back a long way, and Marylanders have a lot to be proud of, and these true traditions are some of them.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.